Episode 7 of Project Runway Season 21, titled Runway Rodeo, promised a lot of cowboy-inspired fashion and Western chick vibes, but what we really got was a mix of drama, confusion, tears, and a whole lot of deja vu. If you've been keeping up with this season, you know the formula by now. The twins Antonio and Jesus annoy everyone by making nearly identical outfits. Yuchen spirals into self-doubt, but refuses to listen to advice. The judges act like they've never seen a Forever 21, and yet somehow the most predictable looks get praised while riskier ideas crash and burn. It's like watching the same episode on repeat, only with new fabrics and slightly different meltdowns. This week's theme was all about Western wear, but with a modern, fashion-forward twist. Christian Siriano made a dramatic entrance riding a white horse, while Heidi Klum lounged on hay bales to set the stage. The designers were told to create their own take on Western chic with only one day and a $500 budget to bring it to life. Sounds fun, right? Well, buckle up, because this ride was anything but smooth. The episode kicked off on an emotional note with Miss Jones' Elimination. She presented a streetwear look that didn't quite land, and the judges decided it was her time to go. The farewell should have been her moment, but instead, it turned into the Yuchen show. He broke down crying on the runway, apologized to everyone, and sobbed again in the workroom. Even Miss Joan ended up comforting him before leaving. While it was touching to see how much he cared, it also felt like her graceful exit was overshadowed by his breakdown. Joan, who is 60, a cancer survivor, and a business owner, handled everything with so much class that you couldn't help but admire her, even as Yuchen's tears took center stage. That emotional unraveling carried into the challenge itself. Yuchen, clearly shaken, ignored Christian's advice once again and chose a silver sequin fabric Christian had literally pulled away from him at mood. Instead of thinking about Western chic, he went all in on making what looked like a sparkly prom dress with strange 3D thorns on the bust. Christian had warned him, but Yuchen doubled down. The stubbornness was painful to watch, especially when paired with his lack of understanding of Western culture. He admitted he had never even heard of Dolly Parton. Meanwhile, the twins were in their comfort zone. Jesus and Antonio, who grew up in northern Mexico and proudly carry their cowboy heritage, were excited. But the excitement quickly faded into predictability. Both leaned on their go-to formula: a bandeau top, a mini skirt, and a long jacket with fringe. Jesus tried something risky by using leather fabric, but he accidentally burned it while ironing. What looked like a disaster actually turned into his saving grace, as Christian encouraged him to lean into the mistake and create a pattern of burn marks. This advice transformed his look into something the judges later loved. Antonio, on the other hand, made another fringed crop jacket and skirt set, polished but way too familiar. Other designers had mixed results. Veejay went bold with a red vinyl dress featuring hundreds of thin strips of hand-frayed fringe. It was ambitious, but Christian didn't seem impressed and worried it might not translate well. Ethan created a snakeskin maxi dress with high slits and lacing, which some thought was a bit too cavalry-inspired but at least felt Western. Belania surprised with a white pinstripe dress patched with denim and tweed, which gave the impression of a jacket layered over a skirt. It wasn't the flashiest, but it stood out as her own voice. The workroom wasn't short on drama either. At one point, Veejay accused Ethan of copying her previous design, with his snakeskin look. She compared his gown to her earlier gray wool dress with cutouts, which was a stretch, to put it kindly. Ethan dismissed the accusation as nonsense, and honestly, most viewers probably agreed. It seemed like stress and paranoia were getting the best of her. When it was finally time for the runway, the guest judges joining Heidi and Law Roach were fashion designer Zach Posen and country star Mickey Guyton, who brought an authentic Western perspective. Nina Garcia was absent yet again, which some fans are starting to notice and get frustrated with. The runway had its highs and lows. Jesus presented his off-white bandeau and miniskirt paired with a long crochet coat and fringe, which impressed the panel. Antonio showed a similar look with a belt buckle, shaped bandeau top, and cropped jacket, earning more praise. Belania's patchwork-inspired dress got mixed but positive notes. Ethan's snakeskin gown was recognized for its craftsmanship, even if it leaned toward Cavalli imitation. Then came the bottom looks: Veejay's red vinyl fringe dress and Yuchen's bizarre sequin gown with 3D horns. The judges were split. They hated Yuchen's execution, but admitted it could still fit in at a country awards show. On the other hand, they couldn't see how Veejay's outfit fit the Western chick theme at all. Zach called it a Project Runway nightmare, and Heidi compared it to a bad costume. Law flatly told Yuchen, "We hate the dress," multiple times, but Zach insisted Veejay had lost the plot. The twins ended up on top again, with Jesus winning this round thanks to his crochet coat and the creative recovery from his fabric disaster. Antonio looked crushed since he's the one who actually identifies as a cowboy, but Veejay summed it up with a smirk. Jesus's win was also Antonio's win. The episode ended on a cliffhanger, leaving viewers wondering if Veejay or Yuchen would be sent home. Given the editing and the judges' comments, Veejay looks like the likely one to leave. While both had major missteps, the panel seemed more open to forgiving Yuchen's weirdness than Veejay's off-theme choice. Overall, the episode left fans with mixed feelings. On one hand, Jesus's accidental creativity was fun to watch, and the cowboy theme had so much potential. On the other, the lack of innovation from the twins, Yuchen's refusal to listen, and the judges' constant praise for recycled silhouettes made the competition feel stuck in a loop. Many fans are starting to crave something fresh and unexpected, but this episode didn't quite deliver that. Still, it wasn't without entertaining moments. Ethan joking about learning to design for real tits instead of drag pads, the show shading Antonio with funny chyrons, and Christian's witty commentary always bring some sparkle. The fashion may not always be groundbreaking, but the drama sure keeps things interesting. Next week promises a new twist with actual clients, and comedian Nikki Glazer was spotted as a guest judge in the preview. Hopefully, this will shake things up and push the designers out of their comfort zones. Because if the twins roll out another bandeau and fringe jacket combo without consequences, fans might just start rooting for chaos instead of couture.